Hi, good morning. I apologize for the late upload. We had a bit of chaos in the building this morning involving a pet snake, a pet Pomeranian, and a water leak. Everybody's fine. You may hear some thumping and yelling, although that seems to have subsided by now. So anyway, I apologize. So we are now finishing up the instruction manual, right? You're going to upload your revised draft by Sunday night. And then we're moving into the team collaborative project. Now, people often really hate teamwork, but in the real world, that's what you do. That's how you live. And these days, it's a lot of it's on Zoom. So you guys can figure out how you want your teams to work. The project itself is it seems complicated, but it's actually fairly straightforward. In a nutshell, and I'm going to go over this again in a minute when I show you the assignment page. You are a team either within a company or you are your own like consulting firm, right? And somebody, either the higher ups in your company or a client, current client or potential client, comes to you, says they have a problem. They want you to propose one or more solutions to that problem using your knowledge and expertise in tech and or science and or human resources, whatever, right? So that's what you're going to do. And the steps in that are you're going to, as with any client, whether it's in-house or external, you're going to write them a little proposal, say, showing that you understand their problem. You've done a bit of research about it. These are the solutions you're going to talk about more at length. So a little short proposal for them. And then to house all the materials, especially since we're, largely virtual these days, and even if we're not, everybody uses websites, your team's going to create a website that's going to house this proposal and all the materials that go with it. And what goes with it, besides the website, is you'll put the proposal up there just for the heck of it. There will be a more technical research report that gives some of the more techie background information on what you're going to be doing. Now, most people were not going to read this, but the tech heads in the company or the client may very well want it for reference. So you're going to be doing a sort of a typical research report to put on the website. You're going to create a presentation when all is said and done of about 5 to 7 minutes that walks the client through what you finally came up with. It's sort of a proposal plus what you really want to do, and then walk them through the materials and things that you came up with in order to help them. Now, the other things that can go on that website, I've had people do. They've created brochures, they've created training manuals, they've created interactive videos. There's a bunch of stuff, but the basic things are the website, presentation, and the technical research report. So those are the basic components of the thing. Now, how we're going to do this is what people hate about teamwork is that it's holding each other responsible, right? In the real world, people get fired for not doing their jobs. Here, you end up with an F. But I'm gonna show you something that I got from people that I've worked with out in the technical writing world that helps them with their group projects, their teamwork things. And we're going to talk about teamwork a good bit because again, it's something you're going to be doing in the real world. So let me share the screen and I'll walk you through how this is going to go. Okay. Here's the screen. All right. So I like my little thing. Here's the link to the unit assignment, and I've just pretty much told you what it is, but this is it sort of at length, the proposal, research report, optional supporting materials like brochures and, social media, campaigns, any videos, whatever you want to do. The proposal presentation, the presentation can't simply be a PowerPoint that somebody reads. All right. We're going to talk a little bit about death by PowerPoint in a couple of weeks. So it should be something that's engaging and it really helps your audience understand what you're trying to get them to do, what you're proposing to do to help them. And when we get all done, like the last week, individually, you're going to write, each of you is going to write a reflective summary report. It's just a big reflection. It's due the last day of class. And you talk about what happened with the project, what you learned about yourself, what worked, what didn't, what suggestions you have. There's also a team evaluation sheet, which I'll show you in a second, that you will attach to that email and send all that stuff to me in an email. Or you can send it to me, DM me on Slack if you'd rather do it that way, because it's private. It's meant to be private. It's not going to be posted in the drive. It's either going to come to me in an email, or you can DM me all that material on Slack. Right? Be sure you DM me, all right? Now you can set up your team workflow whatever way you want, whatever way works best for you. I've had people do Discord channels. You can use Slack. You can set up a team workspace, a team channel in Slack. If you want me to do that, I'll do it. You can do it, but I'll do it for you. You can use a Google Drive folder. Everybody's going to have team's going to have a folder. You can use Google Docs, anything else you want. Now, as I say here, this is obviously a lot of work, but this is all we're doing for the rest of the term. Okay. So in week 10, so everything except the final, anything's uploaded and doing these final reflective summaries and evaluations. That's all we're going to do. Now, you've also got time the rest of the term to do revisions on the other units that you want to, if you want to improve them, right? So you've got plenty of time to do that stuff too. So this is a little flow chart that I made. What's the problem you're proposing a solution for, and for whom? Here's the research, the cause of the problem, current solutions people have tried before that may or may not have worked, whatever tech elements have been tried or are possible to use to help solve it. Then you're going to make a very client-friendly short proposal that just tells them that you understand their problem, and this is what you're going to go, this is how you're going to go about doing, and who you are, right? Who this team is composed of. And after you do that, you're going to write a research report for the experts. You're going to put it on the website. Don't expect anybody to read it, but the very technical people who may be involved. Here's the website. If you want to make an Open Lab project site, you can. It's pretty simple. There's information on here on how to do that. I can also help you if you want. If somebody wants to meet with me, I'll show you how to create one. Again, pretty simple. Any supporting materials that you want to create, you put those on the website as well. And then the final presentation, slides, video, spoken, put that on the website as well. And then after that, you'll do this individual summary, evaluation, reflection about your own learning, and then the evaluations of the other team members. So here's the procedure. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to show where these pieces are. Fill out an individual assessment worksheet. It's in the Google Drive. That's just for you to hang on to. Then read this chapter through. It's all about group teamwork and communication. Brainstorm ideas for projects on a Padlet. Choose or assign teams, or I'll assign teams based on the Padlet. So you add your names to ideas on the Padlet. So a group that you'd like to work with, that you're interested in this particular idea. And then the teams meet to set up a team charter. Again, another form I'll show you in the Drive. And then put it in the Google Drive folder that I'll show you. Then do the proposal, which you put in the Google Drive folder so I can give you some feedback on it. And then do all the stuff you're supposed to. Now there will be a team leader. Somebody's going to be a team leader. So the team leader needs to DM me a progress report each. And I said Tuesday, it needs to be Thursday using Slack. I didn't change it. And then up in your Drive folder, you post a link to the rough draft of the project, or make it some way so I can see what you're doing. And just tell me where to find it so I can look at it, and then do me the final draft of the project. Upload that and then send me the reflection. Okay. So it's, again, seems like a lot. So here's some useful links. This is a sample research paper, APA, which is what we're using. It's on the Purdue OWL online writing lab site. I love these things. These sample papers can show you, use student paper. It's a student paper. So you can, it's all here and it's annotated. It'll show you what everything is. So this is for the research report part. I'll come back to that in a couple of weeks. Right. How to do in-text citations, all of that stuff. This is a very useful document, which is why I put the link in here. So again, we'll get back to that in a couple of weeks when you're there. Then this is information on how to create a project site in Open Lab. And I'm not going to go through it now, but if you want to do it in Open Lab, this is how to do it. And I'll come back to it again in a couple of weeks. Now, these are some projects that students have done previously. Some are simple, some are simple technical reports, some are more complicated, some are better than others, but they're up here. This is, collaborative report on unresolved threats in cloud computing. But here's their presentation. Here's the widgets on the site, right? Here's their technical report. Okay, and so they've got introduction and a little tab about the team, at least the one person who did all the work and we found out about that. Okay, so there's that one. This one, introduction to the study. This one was pretty academic. This is for Professor Choi's class, but they did it this way. There's the problem. Okay. And the results, discussion, recommendations. Okay, so that was for another instructor, which is fine. Some really good ones up there that she got. There was one on greenhouse emissions. Okay, home problem. You can see these are getting fairly old now, but here's the document report, the video, okay, the technical stuff, solutions. So you can cruise those greenhouse emissions. Cyber attacks during the pandemic. Again, these are all sort of a little bit out of date, but here's the presentation. And the whole research report, problem, solution, recommendations about the team. And then this one was about fishing. Okay. So again, these were all done on Open Lab. I had students back when I was doing this more in person who could code, you know, and they did their own website. A couple of other people used, I think they built it on Wix or something. So you're not limited to Open Lab, but that's just one thing you can use. So that's the assignment. Okay, this is what we're going to be doing. So let me run through the whole schedule for the rest of the term, so you'll see what's what. As soon as I get down here, March, April. Okay, here we are. So, and this is, I put this on the announcements page, but you're going to turn in your instruction manual, and then you're going to do the individual assessment, put some ideas for the team, add your name, and I'll come up with, I'll assign teams. And 5 is a sort of the optimum number for people on teams. 4 or 5 works. Then you're going to write the proposal. You'll do your team charter. There's some information about writing a technical research report. Okay. And there's just assorted things to read and annotate on perusal. But for right now, what you're doing is this week, just to make it simple. Okay, the individual assessment sheet. Let me show you where that is. It's in the drive. I might as well show you the drive, right? Here is team project. And last time I checked, which was a few minutes ago, it was working. So everybody should be able to get in here. When we get teams, I'll put your names here and what you're doing. The first thing you're going to be doing is this individual assessment worksheet that you just hang on to. And it's just sort of before your team gets together, however way you're gonna do it, think through the things that you can bring to the team, issues that may have an impact on what you're able to do, so that you can, as a team, figure out how to use everybody to the best of their ability, how to even out the workflow, so not one person's doing everything. Any concerns that you've got. Okay, so that's the individual assessment sheet. The other things that are in here, here's the team charter, which is next week. And a team charter, again, I got all these things from my friends in the technical writing world. This team charter, actually, this is from an engineering company. They do this whenever they start work on a project. And the big part of it is conflict resolution, missed deadlines, and unacceptable work. Making a decision together about what happens when there's conflict, because there's always conflict, you know. How to talk to it, when it's time to turn to me to resolve it, you know, what you can do together, how you're going to deal with somebody who's missing a deadline, you know, what is unacceptable and how to deal with it. You get in touch with somebody, you get in touch with me. So that's what the team charter is. So the first thing you'll do once the teams get assigned is you'll figure out a way to meet, whether it's on Discord or on a Slack channel that I set up for you, or on a Google Doc here on the Google Drive, and work this stuff out, okay, and post it in the drive so that I can see it. in your thing. So you make a copy of these things. Don't do these, just make a copy. And then this is the final team member evaluation sheet that will be due at the end of the term. So it's like somebody put numbers in here already, but this is what you do. It's a Likert scale, if you know Likert scales, 1 through 10, participation, contribution, support of the podcast, communication, commitment. And then, you know, not just numbers, but, you know, explaining why you put those numbers there for each person. So this, I'm doing this, I'm gonna take this off while I'm looking at it, because I didn't realize this was still in here. So this is what you'll be doing at the end of the term. So you can see right away when your team meets for the first time that this is what you're going to be assessing each other on. Okay, so that's all that stuff. Right? This is writing the tech, and this is another piece that I've got for a little bit later. Okay, so this is another assignment we're going to be doing later on. So that's pretty much it right now for what we're doing this week. Go. There we go. So there we are. Okay, so this week, finish your instruction manual. I am going to be looking at, I've already looked at a couple. I'm going to be leaving some more notes today and tomorrow so that you can make some revisions. I think I put up some comments already, but I'll go back and look at some more and see if I've missed any. So once you get that done, then you jump into the team project. So the rest of this week is doing the assessment, the individual assessment, reading the bit about group work and communication, coming up with an idea or two that you throw up on the Padlet, and then seeing which group you would like to be part of. And then I'll leave it to me to figure it out. I've been doing it this way for quite a while, and then teams tend to form themselves fairly naturally. Word of warning, the person who puts the idea up often ends up being the team leader, but not always, right? Somebody else the idea is already up there, but they really want to run it, and that's usually fine. Okay, so that's all you're doing this week. Instruction manual, doing these few things for assessment, coming up with an idea, and then adding your name to one of those groups on the Padlet, and then reading and annotating this bit in Perusall. And I think that's about it. DM me, of course, if you have questions, and I'll get back to you. And with that, I'll see you next time.